Y'all, I don't think I have ever been so excited about a podcast episode in my life. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I get to talk about motherhood, which I'm so excited about, and I get to talk about scaling to $1 million. And I am these are my favorite things, my favorite topics, and my husband, obviously. But these are my favorite topics. Also, I realized I owe you guys an interview with the Sir Eddie. I got to book that in. Anyways, I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to be talking all about how I am scaling my business for motherhood and my first $1 million. If you guys are new to this space, I'm so excited that you're here. This is the soft and the savage arena where we talk all things branding, marketing, funnels, automation, identity, all of that on top of relationships and softening and feminine energy and creativity and play and how to be the woman that truly does have it all. Because something I'm seeing on the market right now is this thing of women that are successful, but they are not fulfilled. And it's heartbreaking because you think, and maybe you've done this, the more you achieve, the more you do, then you'll finally fix the void within. And it doesn't go away. And so you swing the pendulum the other way and you go deep in your feminine. And then you're sitting there and you're so soft and you're filled with naps and sex and baked goods and ice cream, whatever you want, on an island in Thailand. And you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you're like, I am so bored and unfulfilled. I need to do something. I can't just do this. Or you're my audience members that is a wife and a mother and you're a stay-at-home mom and you're like, there's something more to me. There's something more. It's not that this isn't fulfilling, but it's not the full picture. And so in this podcast, we talk all of that in my brand, in all of our products and all of the stuff that we do. We talk all things soft and savage. So I'm so happy that you're here. I want to know more about you. I love when we have conversations in the DMs. It's so fun. So come hang out over on Instagram. It's @ITS Laura Patricia Martin. Yes, I do have to spell it because people get confused. Also, yes, I know I talk fast. Slow it down. This is just not an episode that you can put on 1.8. It's going to be one that you have to slow down because I talk fast, and that's just the way my brain works. So this episode is so exciting to me because hi, if you're new and you didn't catch the episode, I'm pregnant and I'm so excited. I am just like in my dream life right now where it's like I just moved into my first home with my now fiance and we're expecting, and it just feels so fun to finally let you guys in on this because I've been pregnant for a while and it's getting to the point that I was like, I was kind of toying with the idea where I was like, what if I just have the baby? I just don't talk about anything and I just continue life as normal. And then I just surprise, have the baby. I think that would have been funny, but also it's a huge identity upgrade. And I want to bring my audience with me because I know a big thing I was seeing and why I started pre-housewife era movement when I was in the dating world and things like that is because when you get pregnant, a lot of us sit here being like, how am I going to do it all? Because the truth is we weren't planning this. I randomly ovulated early, I guess, and God wanted us to have this baby. So here we are. And yes, I prepped my business for this, thank goodness, but I had the goal of hitting $1 million this year and turning my yearly income into my monthly and just doing a whole bunch of big things. And as first trimester came, I was like, oh my God, I can't do anything. Because if any one of you have been through first trimester, you really can't do anything. I mean, maybe some of you can. I don't want to project that onto you, but I see these women on TikTok or I don't use TikTok, Instagram, and it's them doing CrossFit. And I'm like, how on earth could you do anything? I couldn't do anything. I was just sleeping all day, eating 8,000 times a day, and just feeling horrendous. I think because I'm so used to feeling good because I'm just a very healthy person. I just wasn't used to feeling this tired and bloated and sick and all this kind of feelings that I just didn't know what to do. Plus the brain fog, it's real. And I just couldn't do anything. And in my head, I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's my vision since I was 25 to have a baby, in my dream life and literally living this life. But also my identity for so long has been my business. My identity has been how much I can produce, how much I can put out and all these kind of things. And I got worried a bit because it's not so much about the money, right? Like, yes, $1 million would be really cool, especially with a baby coming, but it's who I get to become. Like, that's been this whole journey of like my money journey and my like just creating all these businesses and doing what I've done over the years and like building this stuff. It's just the woman I get to become. And I really want to live to my fullest capacity. And, hitting milestones and hitting a certain amount of money, like it does give you that type of freedom. Like I want to have the type of life where I literally just never have to look at a price tag and I never have to be limited and I get to invest in what I want to invest in so I can explore the type of woman I am, so I can be the type of wife and mother my family deserves and just explore me. Like a lot of us are confined by money, that we don't actually ever get to know who we fully, truly are. And I just want to explore that. And so it was really important to me this year that I hit my $1 million, especially because I have said when I turn 33, I'm going to be a mother and I'm going to hit my first $1 million. It's like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, like I got pregnant and all these things. I was like, well, I'm on track for one, which in my soul, I just know like things happen at a rate in my life where like I'm so intuitive that I just know they're going to happen, and they do. Hence why when I started all of my companies, hence Pre-Housewife Era, I literally moved to Florida. No, didn't even buy furniture, got a fully furnished place. I was like, I'm going to meet my husband here. I don't know why. I don't know anyone here. I know. Lo and behold, I meet my husband, baby, house, now this. And so for those of you that are like me, where it's like, I want to be the woman that has it all, but I don't see a lot of examples. And we have a lot of blocks around if it's truly possible for someone like me. Like, how can I actually put things in place? What's going to happen? Maybe you are your sales system right now. Maybe like you just feel scared because you have a vision. Like, this is your life. This is your baby. And you're not afraid of sharing that like your business is your baby and you are so devoted to it. It is your life. It is your blood. It's something you don't shut the fuck up about. You were talking about it even when it was free. Like you didn't care. It is just something where you were so passionate about it because it's just in your blood. You've been coaching since you don't even know when. It's just, especially for my projector girlies where we give an unsolicited advice, it is just in us. It's like, oh my God, this is just a thing that I'm so obsessed with. But also knowing damn well, I am never going to miss a millimeter of my child growing. Like I already know I am going to be that mom. Like I am all in because I already know how I am with my husband. Like I love being in my life. I love being with my man. I love being in our home. I love setting things up. I love helping him. I love spending so much time just doing the things that make me feel fulfilled and living a really, really robust life. Like I'm just really, really happy about it. And so you might be like, how do I do both? Do I have to surrender one? Do I have to give up one? Like first trimester kind of scared the shit out of me. Like, how am I going to be doing this? If first trimester is what newborn life is like how am I going to be doing this? I get you, because I was you for like a blip in the radar second, and then I remembered my personal power, and I have all the systems and structures in place, and I've been preparing for this since I was like 25. And maybe you didn't have all that runway, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing to prepare myself for motherhood and scaling during pregnancy and going towards $1 million, because I truly believe I can do both. It feels so good to just admit it to you guys. Like, I'm going to fucking do both. Watch me. It's going to be great with these new big old titties. Like it's going to be fabulous. And so first things first, I need to ground into this. Did I tell you guys to subscribe? Or you think I forgot in the beginning? Make sure you subscribe. It means the world. It helps us. Write a review. It helps us. Okay, first. And then I will tell you the message. Okay, number 1. Dialing your messaging in. And so what I see a lot and what is a huge focus for me is I want to make sure I'm working with the right types of clients. I don't just want to make $1 million. I want to make $1 million with the right people, because the people I'm going to be working with are going to be taking away time from my baby. So that time is priceless to me. It's like, you got to be worth it for me. Because I make enough money. I'm not in survival mode. It's just about I want to, again, and going back to what I was saying earlier, it's just about expanding my capacity and seeing how far I can go and how big I can make it and all the kind of things. So I have to make sure my messaging is tailored to the type of client I am willing to be away from my family for and dedicating my other half of my time to, because I love you so much and your success means the world to me. So what I have to do is make sure my messaging is dialed in for those types of people, making sure my brand is attracting those type of people. I have to be focusing on my ideal buyer and what they want to experience, what they want to see, how they like to buy, and dialing in my messaging around that. Not like brill marketing, not like pain tactics, not like the annoying shit that we see on the internet where everyone is talking the same, doing the same. Like my messaging has to be so dialed in that it is articulating my type of power. So I call in people of power. Right? And that's what you have to start looking at is your messaging calling in the right types of people? Are your clients the types of people where you're like, I would leave my kid for a day for this because I'm so obsessed with these types of people and their success is like it's my baby. And in being in that arena, if not, you have to go do a messaging audit. And I'm actually in the works of creating a Savage Sales on Repeat program that is showing you exactly how to do this. Or I have my magnetic messaging mastermind where I'm going behind the scenes with all of you guys for 8 weeks. If you guys are catching this end of February, March time, you can still join, and then you get this program for free because we're building it out inside of that. You can just message me around this. But this is something that's so important. If you think of it like a food pyramid, your messaging is the foundation. It's the most important thing, then your offers, then your marketing. A lot of us are messing with the other things first, and we're wondering why it's not scaling. And especially when we're looking to scale to $1 million, you can do it through low ticket offers, you can do it through mid ticket offers, you can do it through high ticket, whatever your market is, however you want it to go. But there is a specific type of human that you speak to who loves to pay you easily because of how you speak and how you show up. So you don't have to spend time on sales calls, hours in your DMs, going back and forth, faulty payments. Like, it's genuinely people that just love to pay you and keep buying product after product because your messaging sells them and you know it so well that they feel safe, seen, heard, felt, all things in between. So this is where that work really has to be dialed in, that you're calling in the right people. And pregnancy, through this whole thing, you get to test this. Like, you get to look at who's reaching out about your offers. If it's not your ideal people and it's not people that can afford you, your messaging is off and your branding is off. You need to work on this. This is why I have the spaces I have. It's if you want to have sales on repeat without you hustling harder, without you hours in the DM, without you being the sales system, your messaging is the first thing first. Because something that I also, dialing this in, something you can always do is write a caption, right? It really doesn't take that much time when you understand your buyer. So that is something you can do while you're breastfeeding. Not that you want to have your phone out while you're doing it, but like you can, or like when you're out on a walk, like when you're having mommy time in the bath, like you can really dive into this and you can make content. Content is something that when you know it the right way, it doesn't take that long to write something up and post it. And if that's the one thing you can do in motherhood, which I know this is the one thing I can do in my journey, I'm not worried. It's just something where I'm like, I just have to dial it in. I have to know what my buyer needs, wants, desires, what have you. And that's what I have to focus on. Because I can write content with a baby on my tit. That's not hard for me. And so how can I dial this in? This is first and foremost, how can I play with this? How can I experiment with it through pregnancy and just really, really nail messaging and make sure it's not macro talking to everyone, but micro to the right types of people that love to buy from me. It's going to repel the people I don't care to be annoyed by and attract the types of people that I'm like, I'm obsessed with you. Being in proximity to you makes me a better leader, has me left feeling inspired. I'm okay. Like, I'm recharged from being around you so that when I come back to my family, I'm recharged, not drained. Like, that's the only type of people I'm willing to sacrifice my family for. And so my messaging has to attract those types of people. So does yours. And so it's just focusing on this. This is the most pivotal thing because it's like, you can do this with a baby, a toddler, whatever. You can do this even if you haven't even left your main job. You can do this. Content isn't that hard. We just have blocks around it. And so focusing on that. Number 2 is making sure your digital assets are prepped and ready. So something I've been doing since I found out I was pregnant, which is something I was already going to be building out this year, is I know my customer journey so well from really experimenting last year. There was a lot of live launches last year, a lot of me as a sales system, a lot of me forward facing. I now, after studying y'all, I understand where you're going, and I understand the different marks of which that you're going to come in. So I'm going to have 4 seasons that we go through that have major programs, right? Signature programs, and then have mini offers underneath that. And then there's masterminds, and then there's Boulder Branding Academy, things like that. So my job right now, since I know my customer journey, and of course there's things we're working on and things we're adding in and blah, 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 that will need to be edited and what have you, but to get me through my last trimester and newborn stage, I am building out digital assets. I'm building signature courses on the back end. I'm building the early stage freebies and low ticket offers that then lead to signature offers, that then lead to Boulder Branding Academy, that then lead to masterminds and close proximity work. And so it's my job to, 1, understand the customer journey, and then 2, build out the digital assets right now while I have the time. Right? I have the time to record stuff. I've actually been doing it before I did this, and building out these things. It's not that I'm launching them right now. For a while now, I haven't done live program training. I do recorded trainings, and then I have live calls with my people. That works better for my energy style. That works better for my coaching style. I know some people, they like to do live coaching style. That's all for you. Great for you. I like to mix and make a hybrid where it's, I know my energy. You can't just like tell me to turn it on and do the things. It's like when I'm connected is when I record, then I have it there, and then we have our coaching calls, and that just works better for me. And so I get to work on building out my digital assets right now. Even if that's not your style, you can experiment with this now just to play with it for when you're having a baby, or when you're in first trimester, or when you're in third trimester and you feel like a crazy large human and you can't breathe, or newborn stage when it's a little bit harder to create these digital assets. How can you start to create them now? And that goes with podcasting, that goes with all the kind of things. I'm just spending a lot more time building back end right now and recording things than I am forward facing, which works perfect for me because that's part of my brand of just not live launching anymore. It just didn't work for me. I don't want to do that anymore. So this is actually perfect for me and my audience, that they no longer want to be their sales system. They're either thinking about motherhood, or they're in the mix of it, or they're in motherhood and they realize it didn't work. Like, it just works better for my audience anyway. So this is what I've been doing. And so I'm really just looking at, okay, how can I create high value assets? Not just talking to talk, but really diving deep into messaging, sales, branding, funnels, like things of that nature, femininity, identity, and what signature offers can I create that, if I'm going to charge mid to high ticket on, is high value. Everything in my world, just because I am someone, for me, I am my dream buyer. I love luxury experiences. I have no problem paying for luxury experiences. I have no problem paying for proximity to power, for good customer service. I'm not like a chain restaurant types of person. I'm not looking for the deal. Like, I genuinely, it's just not a way that I buy. I like the boutique experience. And so what is boutique? It's high quality, and it's not just fast fashion. It's not just like fast food. It's like very unique, very intentional, very curated. That is my programs. It's a very hands-on experience. The closer in proximity that you pay, and within my programs, it's very, very dialed in. It requires a lot of you. It required a lot of me to make, but it requires a lot of you to go through, so that you go through it and it makes sense, and you know everything that I know that I've compiled over the last 10 years. Like, that's my spaces. And so I'm building up my digital assets to be high value. It's not just a quick buck, right? Like, these are transformative programs I can easily sell for a high ticket, because a lot of us are like, high ticket sales, high ticket sales, high ticket sales. It's like, but does it have high value? Is it high quality? Will people testify for that? Like, be like, yes, I had the wildest transformation inside of this. It'll speak for itself, right? People getting results from these things. And so, again, I've been doing this a while. I know what it takes. I know what it is. It requires a lot of time for me. It requires a lot of responsibility, a lot of boundaries, a lot of sacrifice. Things I am willing to do at this stage because my mission is so big, my why is so deep, and my devotion to getting you guys the best results is so important to me. And this is what's going to help me hit my goals, right? It's helping me become a better leader. It's helping me, step into my womanhood even more. It's helping me step into my leadership even more and understand things on such a different level and, elevate my level of mentorship and who I'm around and how this whole thing is. And so it's just something that's so important to me that I don't mind. Like, yeah, people would be like, oh, well, pregnancy, and I've heard it, pregnancy is the time to rest. Like, put your feet up and like chill and like, yeah, of course. Like my body literally can't. I talked about this in the last episode with stuff. Like my body literally can't do a lot of the things I used to do. It's very frustrating. But like, even if I wanted to push past it, I now have to think about my baby. Like how I can't, like, I just don't want to do that. But I also know I have this like 4-month window where I have energy again. Where like first trimester I rested. I needed to because I couldn't do anything. And then I have this like window in my second trimester, early third trimester, where I really can't do a lot again. I can't do these types of things. I can't go for 14 hours anymore, right? Like today I've been going for 4 to 5 hours. It's kind of all I got. After I record this, like I'm going to be done, except for some like emails and back end work, but, and like Telegram stuff, because that stuff's so easy for me, but that's going to be it. And like, I can't go as late and and it's just okay. Like that's okay. But I'm going to get this all in because I want the responsibility. Something for me is I want responsibility. I want more responsibility. That's why, this getting engaged, pregnancy, home, like all these things, all my friends are like, whoa, that's a lot. Like it's a lot in a short amount of time because it really was. But for me, it makes sense because I've been praying to God going, give me the responsibility. I want it. I don't like, that's the stage of my life that I'm at. I'm ready for that level of maturity and responsibility. So yeah, I'm going to build out digital assets. Yeah, I'm going to also rest. Yes, I'm going to take care of my child, obviously, and my husband, obviously, and my home, obviously. Like those are obviously going to fit in and be a priority, and myself, obviously. But like, this is very important to me. You guys have been the why that makes me cry since I was 24 years old, leaving domestic violence and getting sober and healing chronic illness and doing it. Like, I could never leave this. You're tattooed on my forehead. I could never. It's just like etched in my heart that this is my soul's journey and this is my soul's work. So I have to be like, okay, how can I prepare? Just like I'm going to do that with my kid, right? Like, who do I have to hire to take care of you for the couple hours that I have to work? Like, it's just dedication of the balance. You get to have multiple priorities at once. So it's just that. I wanted to say that tidbit about responsibility because a lot of us waver in that. Number 3 of how I'm preparing myself for my millions and motherhood. Sales systems. Looking sexy as hell. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you want to hit $1 million, you need to understand back end in sales. Like, it's not that you need it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I have plenty of friends, these energetic, wonderful human beings on the planet that have hit $1 million just by being themselves. And I love that for them. But they're also their sales system. It also requires them to be very front end. It requires them to be launching something in order to make something and these types of things. Whereas I want to be able to post something on Instagram and make a couple $1,000s without adding a call to my calendar. Unless I need to, because they paid me an extra couple $1,000s to be in a mastermind or close proximity. And then yes, of course, I will give you my time because you are worth it. Like, these are the types of experiences that I have curated. And so yes, I understand my customer journey, but like I said, for me, I will explain it to you how this is going to work. If you are ever going to enter my world, you can enter it now in this way. You'll see. We're going to be refining this a lot more once everything's recorded. So how it's going to be is on the front end, there will be free or low ticket offers. I'm moving away from free offers and really just staying in the low ticket margin. And so you'll have low ticket offers, or you'll have challenges, or like mid ticket, like a couple $100s, whatever. Those in my ballpark are low ticket. That will then lead you into my signature core offers. I'm going to have 4 signature offers that is going to lead to, and those are our 4 themes around branding, messaging, sales, and automation, and funnels, what I'm talking about now. And then obviously an inner working into all of that is identity and womanhood, because those are a big part of my brand, and femininity and somatic work. And all of that is tied into all of those, but those are the 4 areas-ish. And then we'll also have a feminine side. That then sells into Bolder Branding Academy. Everything leads to Bolder Branding Academy because that's my year-long mid-ticket experience that we are going to be scaling out over this year. And then off of that, we have masterminds. I do these really quick sprint masterminds. I do a little longer term masterminds, like very niched masterminds, things like that, that are higher ticket. And so we're just mushing all of this into funnels and systems. And so working with, automation so that I'm not in my DMs sending you the links. If you haven't recognized that yet, it is not me. It is my friendly Hey Clients robot that sends you all my links and all the things so that you can then get added into whatever program that you bought. And then inside of that program, I know exactly what the next right program for you is. So we sell you that. We invite you into that because it would be a disservice if I just left you in a low ticket offer, because that's going to give you a tiny micro transformation. And I know you're here for the whole coot and caboodle. That's not the right word, but you know what I'm talking about. The whole thing. You want the whole fucking cake. And so that is what we're doing. And I'm guiding you through that journey. Whether you were like, I'm all in, just give me a mastermind. I know, like, can trust you already because I'm obsessed with you. Or like you're taking a little bit more time to know, like, and trust, and you have to build up your window of tolerance of trusting yourself and me. Great. We're building that out. What does that look like? What are the offers? What are the points of entry? What do you need? Like, that's what I'm focusing on in the back end. Yes, I'm recording digital assets. And yes, my brain is working in the tech field of what is the map of how to get you to where I know you need to be, which is Bolder Branding Academy or a mastermind. That's what I'm focusing on. And for me, I really have been eliminating like one-on-one work, except for like quick sprints, except for a select number of humans, because I don't want to make my millions with one-on-one. It's just not my thing. I love group containers. I love high proximity masterminds. Like, to me, I love being hands-on in a group container because I'm not holding space. Like, the space is held. It's so beautiful, like, by the people. It's just like, and I get to be in there. Like, if you've ever been in my spaces, like, I'm in. I'm like your COO. I'm like looking at things, going over your copy, like going through your emails. Like, I'm in, and I love that side. And it just feels a lot better for me when it's in a group container, because it's just a bunch of hive minds together. And I love sisterhood and I love connection. I'm a 4/6 in human design, so it just fits me. So that's what I'm focusing on there, is just like funnels, like systems. How does it all lead together? Because I'm building all this stuff out. I know it already works for me, year of testing it. And now it's just running it without me running it and then still having me be a part of it, because that's the difference between, I'm not looking to completely automate my business that I am no longer in it. I would be so bored and purposefulness. Not that I don't think motherhood will not be fulfilling me, but it's just, this is me, right? That's Mother. This is Laura Patricia Martin. And so it's just, I love this identity, and I could never give it up. So we're building that out. And I will be on the calls. We create the Q&As. Like, I'll have Telegram channels. Like, it just works for motherhood, right? Like, Telegram's going to be a huge thing I'm using. It's already been something I've been hugely implementing, getting my audience and my clients ready, like used to it, because scheduling and things, like, I don't know what kind of baby I'm going to have. And so it's like, Telegram is so easy. I can do that while I'm breastfeeding. I can do that while, Eddie's taking care of the baby. I can do it on a walk, anywhere, at any time. So it's extraordinary. But yeah, sales systems and everything in place, and having them look sexy as hell and running sexy as hell is just so fun for me. Like, upsells, downsells, making money while I sleep, having sales on repeat. This was just a huge thing for me. Using my email list, because we don't know what's going to happen with tech. Like, they can shut us down at any time. And it's like, I still have my podcast. I still have my email list. I still have certain things. I still have Facebook. I still have different platforms that we're YouTube, like all these types of things. Also, if you haven't checked us out on YouTube, what you doing? Like, it's like all that kind of stuff we're still using and we're building out. And how can all of it streamline together to have sales on repeat? And so I'm focusing on that. And so we have messaging, being super dialed in for the right types of people. We have creating digital assets based on the customer journey and transformation, and sales systems. And the fourth one, which is the most important one, and if you don't have this dialed in, the other ones really They just don't matter. They just don't matter. And I wish I would have learned this sooner, because I probably would have had success a lot sooner. And number 4 is identity and nervous system upgrade. And they're together. Because something that is already happening with pregnancy, and I'm sure it's going to go a mile high in motherhood, is just your expansion and your capacity to hold more. And some women succumb to victimhood in this and go into the like, I need everyone to take care of me. I love being taken care of. I love doing nothing. Just let me watch Netflix all day and eat ice cream and have people deliver me stuff and rub my feet and do all the kind of things. And like, don't get me wrong, I love when my husband does that. But also, again, it's just not me. Like, to sit and just be, I don't want to call it victimhood, but it is, because if you think about it, when your husband's not around, you probably don't do that stuff, and you're much more independent, right? And so it's tapping into this new identity that motherhood has actually stretched you into, because you really can hold more. Every mother that I've talked to in this entrepreneurial space is just, motherhood made me richer. Motherhood showed me what is important, what is not, what do I need to dial in on, what to eliminate, what am I wasting time on? Like, it's just really upgraded to this level of CEO, unlike anything else. And so instead of, oh, I need someone to take care of me, I feel so weak, which might be true for a little bit, it's actually, you can move it to this space of like, I'm just learning to hold so much more. Like, if you think about it, literally, as I look down at my giant stomach, my giant yet not so giant stomach, like, it's giant for me, and I also know it's about to get 1,000 times bigger, which is insane to me. Anyways, you're like holding a human, you're growing a human, which is insane. And the capacity to hold that, and your relationship, which obviously is going to feel some shifts in the moment of all the hormonal changes you're going on top of a business, on top of clients, on top of content, on top of you and your daily practices to make sure you're healthy, on top of friendships, on top of so much. Like, you're a damn superhero. It's insane. And when you can get your identity behind that of like, I am incredible. The female body is absolutely incredible. I am a CEO and a mom. What? How incredible. How blessed that that's the journey you get to go on. That you get to show your kid that whole thing, that you get to experience duality in such a way that you get to hold so much. Like, you are just expanding your capacity to hold so much. But you have to hold it, right? A lot of us, we shy away from the responsibility. It's like, I don't want the responsibility. Someone take care of me. I just want to rest. I hate being the strong one. Like, I've been the strong one my whole damn life. I just don't want to be. I want someone to take care of me. I know I have felt this. But at the end of the day, you're the one that was called for the mission, right? Like, I'll tell you my truth story about this. Like, I've known my entire life, I want a big life. I want a shit ton of money, and I want to change the world. I have said that since I was like 4. I would like color in heads of Gandhi and also be wildly obsessed with money. And I would tell my parents I was going to change the world and do all this impact work and like do all these things. And at the same time, I was like, I need this, I need that, I need to do these things. And I was obsessed with having jobs and making money. And my parents were like, what is wrong with our child? And I've known this is my calling. I didn't know what the calling was. I still am continually figuring out what it is, but surrendering to God, but it's mine. But I got to a certain stage of my life, because when you have a deep calling, you're also deeply tested, which means, a lot of you guys know, like, I've just been through some of the deepest, darkest shit, and I'm like constantly thrown with a plot twist to the fact that now, like, when something happens, I laugh, because I'm like, okay, what's next? And it doesn't faze me as much. It doesn't lead to chaos as it once did. It's just like, this is my life. This is soul path. How do I surrender to it? And who do I become in the process? And so I have just been like on that journey. And I got to the point where I was like, fuck this. I am sick of being the strong one. I don't want to be the strong one anymore. I'm so tired. I want someone else to do it. I just want to be a housewife. Like, I just want someone to pay for everything for me. I just want someone to take care of me. Why do I have to be the strong one? And I did this thing with my partner, who will do anything for me, bless him. But, when we first started dating, I was like, I just want a big life. Keep up or get out. And I meant that is I have really big goals for my life, and I'm never, like, I can't imagine stopping. Like, I'm so addicted to this. Not like in a way that was from the wounded ego area of like, I need to prove myself. Just like, I love this work, if that hasn't been clear. But he took it on and he started running with it. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to give me a big life. So I pulled back a little bit. I was like, go, 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 go. You're my workhorse. Go, 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 go. And it started to put a wedge in our relationship for a bit because it's my vision, not his. He's the provider and he would do anything for me. But I'm the one, like he's okay with like a simple life. He's okay. Like he wants to provide, but like he doesn't want it as big as I do, like what have you. And bless him, if I did not catch this early enough, he would do it. Right? Like it's our job as a woman to push our guy, like inspire him into leadership. And he's still on his journey to like, he's been crushing it since we've been together. But it did put this added pressure on him. And it came to this point in our relationship where I realized God put this on my soul since I was a kid, not yours. And any time that I would try and pass this off, because I would love to say this is the first time I did this to a guy, but it's not. Anytime I did that to someone, I lost myself and I experienced like, it's like God will like knock you around until you get back in alignment with where he wants you. It happened every time. And it wasn't until this time where I sat and it came through one day in prayer being like, I chose you. I chose you. And so I got back in the driver's seat of my life and everything's been buttery since. Because this is my mission. This is my identity. It isn't for me not to rest because it's not like I'm quote unquote hustling. Like you guys ask me all the time, like, how do you do everything? How do you hold all this? Da, 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 da. And it's like, to me, it's not a lot. I have plenty of time, like plenty. I enjoy my life tremendously. Like I don't feel even close to burnt out at all. Even through pregnancy, like I just don't, because this is my soul's work. I'm so in alignment. I don't care that I'm a projector. I don't care any of that kind of stuff. And like, it's just in alignment because this is my identity and I chose it. I didn't even choose it. God chose me and I choose to live in that. And so I took back that responsibility. I took back that this is my duty. I took back that this is something I get to create. And I get to create something with my husband as well. And I get to create, all these different things. And we get to do things side by side together and create this extraordinary life. But like my side of the street is my side of the street because this has been my vision since I was a little girl. Someone else can't build it for me. That would be my wounded feminine, someone save me energy, victimhood. And so on top of that identity upgrade, I've had to do a shit ton of nervous system work to expand my capacity to hold and reframe that the richer I get, the more present I am for my baby. And I can hold both, and I don't have to choose. And it's old paradigm thinking, and I'm releasing it from my body, and I can hold this, and I can charge more, and I can do more, and I can be more invested, and I can show up even more, and still have time for my baby and my husband. And my friends and my self-care practice. I have time for it all. I've had to do the body work to really move this through my body. This is why in my work, somatics and daily vitamins are a key pillar, because I can give you all the strategy and messaging and identity things, but if you don't actually expand your nervous system to hold motherhood and millions of dollars, you will self-sabotage every fucking time. And so I've been doing this deep work. You should be doing this deep work of not just, okay, I'm meditating for a healthy pregnancy. I'm meditating for a squeaky, clean, happy child. Like, yes, definitely should be doing these things because pregnancy and birth is the mental game at this point. But you need to be doing somatic work to expand your capacity. You need to be releasing old paradigm beliefs that tell you that you can't have both. You have to be doing somatic work to identify what your blocks are and get them out of your body, and then move the energy and expand your nervous system to hold. And this might sound weird to you guys if you've never done somatic work before, but if you feel in your body when I say motherhood and scaling to $1 million and you feel a clench, and your first thought is how? And your first thought is like, yeah, fucking right. And your first thought is like, no way. Like, it's just like felt in your body, even if it's not a word you're being felt, it is just or word you're being told, it is actually just a feeling that is felt of just like a clenching, a tightness, and your like throat area to womb area of a tightening and a closing. That's your body telling you doesn't feel safe. Your job is expanding that, releasing it, and then expanding it. To know that it's safe, it is safe. It is safe. It is safe for you to scale. It is safe for you to have more responsibility. It is safe for you to be a mom. It is safe for you to be a millionaire. And you don't have to choose. You have so much time to be a wife and a mother and a friend and solo and still make $1 million. And you have to adopt the identity piece around that level of leadership, of holding levels of responsibility, of hands-on work, of being devoted to your work, of being so obsessed with your work. And having the capacity to hold the obsession so that you don't block it. More often than not, the reason that we don't have what we want is because we don't have the energetic capacity to hold it. Right? When we are looking to charge high ticket, when we are looking to scale, when we are looking to do it, it is our internal belief system that blocks us. Strategy is like 10% of the game. Everything else is energy. And so you have to lock that in. So, the 5 things to focus on if you are scaling motherhood and your first $1 million: messaging, having it so fucking dialed in, digital assets, setting them up, understanding where your customer is going, creating higher ticket offers, creating closer proximity things, scaling things out, charging higher ticket, systems to allow you to do that, making sure they're running smoothly, put into place, understanding your entire product suite. So one sale leads to the other, leads to the other. So you have sales on repeat without you trading more time. And 5, upgrading your identity and your nervous system to hold it all, because it's a lot. It is. But you're growing life. And that's the hardest thing the female body's ever going to go through. And yet you're doing it, or you're planning to do it, or you've already done it. That's a lot harder than making $1 million. So I've heard. And so if that's the belief system, growing this baby hasn't been the hardest thing in the world. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's not the hardest. So making $1 million, that's just a block. How easy can you make it? How fun can it be? And if you are in that season, I'm the mentor. Like that is exactly what we're doing inside of my spaces. You can plug in if it's a program, if it's a system thing that you want to work on, if it's an identity piece, if it's more close proximity work. Like, we have so many things. All you have to do is lead yourself to messaging me over on Instagram. Like I said, my Instagram is @ITS Laura Patricia Martin. And lead yourself to a conversation. We'll figure out where you're at and we'll figure out what the best option is for you. But you get to have both. I cannot emphasize that enough. You get to have both. And that is what we do in my world. It is so beautiful, so expansive, so fulfilling when you actually identify with this, that you get to have all things in your life. You get to have the most fun in your life. You get to be so fulfilled. You get to